Okay. Oh, really? Cancelled. Yesterday, me and my friends had planned for a movie today. I just got a call from my friend Ruhi. She said, I have an appointment. I need to call up Anu. Hey Anu, I just got a call. She said she had an appointment. Plan cancelled. Okay, fine. Bye bye. Did you just see what happened? I got a call from my friend Ruhi. She isn't coming, and now I had to inform it to Anu. And how did I inform? I used my own words. I conveyed the message of Ruhi to Anu using my own words. So, what did I do? I reported it to Anu. Or what I can say, I also narrated it. When we hear a gossip, what do we tend to do? We tend to spread it. How do we spread it? By using the actual words of the speaker, or we use our own words to spread the message around. Because at times, it's not important to use the actual words of the speaker. We can just deliver the message. When we deliver, we might use our own words, and that's what we call narration, or in other words, we call it as reported speech. All the words that we speak are called speech. Now they can be of two types. It can be direct speech, where we use the actual words of the speaker. That is called dialogue or direct speech. And when we do not use the actual words of the speaker, we convey it, we narrate it using our own words. We call it reported speech or narration. Now take a look at this example. Arun said, I need a new bicycle. Is whatever Arun has said. It is the word to word things that Arun had said. So it is supposed to be indirect speech. Now in this sentence, Arun said that he needed a new bicycle. Is where we are reporting Arun's words in our own words. We are not using whatever Arun had said. We have just conveyed the message that Arun said that he needed a new bicycle. We say these kind of sentences as reported speech. When we have to change sentences from direct speech into indirect speech, we need to keep in mind certain things where the changes occur. And these are the places where the changes occur. The reporting verb changes, the tense changes, pronoun changes, and use of a connector is mostly used. Use of a connector, that, which is often used in most sentences. Now look at this sentence. If I say, Arun said, I need a bicycle. If I'm going to divide this sentence into parts, I can say, I'm going to draw a line between, and I can say that this part said. This is the reported. This part, the left-hand part, is the reporting part. This is the reporting side, and this is the reported side. Right? So, on the reporting side, which is the verb? Said. So, this is the reporting verb. Which is the subject of the reporting verb? Arun is the subject of the reporting verb. Come to the reported side. Which is the subject of the reported verb? I. Which is the reported verb here? Need. Now we need to bring about the changes. The tense of the reported side has to change. Right? So these are the places the reporting verb changes, the tense changes, a pronoun is the pronoun changes, and the use of a connector, that is added. So how are we going to write it? If I'm going to write the sentence in indirect speech, I'm going to write it as Arun said. Remove the quotations, remove the speech marks, add the connector, that. I changes to he, and the tense changes. needed, or bicycle. Right? As you can see here, reporting verb said changes to said that. Quotation marks are removed. Connector that is added. Pronoun I changes to he. The tense, which was earlier in the direct speech, it was in present tense, or you can say simple present, changes to simple past. So these are the various changes that occur while we change a sentence from direct speech into indirect speech. Right? Before we know more about the rules, let's just get to know what are the different reporting verbs that we use. Right? What are the reporting verbs that we come across in various sentences, and how do they change? So reporting verb says changes to says that. Right? Reporting verb said to changes to told, or according to the mood of the sentence, according to the tone of the sentence, it can also be asserted, stated, informed, like in various sentences, according to the kind of the sentence which is used. Reporting verb said changes to said that. Right? Say for instance, if I say Arun said to Ravi, you are my friend. Right? So if I'm going to change it into indirect speech, I'm going to write Arun said to changes to told. Arun told Ravi. Right? Always remember, children, told is always followed by a noun or a pronoun. It is never told to. It is always told Ravi, told me, told you, told her. It is always followed by a noun or a pronoun. So Arun told Ravi that he was his friend. Right? So you can see here that there are changes in the pronoun. There are various changes that you can see here. You changes to he, my changes to his. How are these occurring? There is a formula to change these pronouns as well. So that is called SON formula. The SON formula, which says, or which just lets us know what is the kind, or which is the change of the pronoun that occurs. Change of personal pronouns and possessives, which can be, which follows a kind of a formula. It is called the SON formula. S for subject, O for object, and N for no change. And 1, 2, and 3 are the persons. They are the persons. Right? So let's just know this formula. SON formula, the first formula, or the first rule of the SON formula says that the first person pronoun of the reporting speech, right, of the reported speech will be changed according to the subject of the reporting verb. Let's look at this sentence. Arun said, I need a bicycle. In this sentence, the reporting verb, this is said, and while we are changing it, and here in the reported side you can see here I is in first person, right? So if it is in the first person, the reported side, if the subject is in the first person, it goes according to the subject of the reporting verb. So here in this case it is Arun. So how do we change it? Arun said that I is in first person, which is now going according to Arun, which is the subject of the reporting verb. This is the reporting verb. And Arun is the subject of the reporting verb, right? So Arun is a boy. So for a boy, what pronoun do we use? He. Needed a bicycle, right? So I, first person, changes according to Arun, which is the subject of the reporting verb. That is what is the first rule of the SON formula. The second rule. Now take another example of a second example. So what does it say? It says that if the subject of the reported side is in second person. Say for instance in this example you can say Arun said to me, you are awesome, right? So here you is second person, right? And said to reported verb, reporting verb. Arun is the subject, me is the object. So you should change according to me. So what am I going to write in the what am I going to write in the reported speech? Arun said to changes to told. I have earlier told in the previous slide that said to changes to told. Me, that, you goes according to object. So for me, what do we use? What is the pronoun that we use? I was awesome. Right? So did you see that second person, if the subject of the reported side is in second person, it goes according to the object of the reporting verb. The object of the reporting verb is me. And for me, we use the pronoun I. Arun told me that I was awesome. So this suffices for the second rule of the SON formula. Right? Taking another example for the third person. What if the subject is in third person? Now take this example. Mom said, Ravi is coming today. Ravi, third person, right? So, in the indirect speech, how is the pronoun going to change? Mom said that. Ravi remains as Ravi. As I said, no means no change. Ravi was coming that day. Right? Ravi remains as Ravi, no change. So these are the rules of SON formula which tells us how are we going to change the personal pronouns and the possessives. The personal pronouns and the possessive follow a sequence, kind of a sequence which falls under the heading SON, which goes according S for subject goes according to the, if the subject is in first person, it changes according to the subject of the reporting verb. If the subject of the reported side is in second person, it changes according to the object of the reporting verb. If the subject is in third person, there is no change. So that is what is SON formula is all about. Moving ahead, you can see here all the changes in the pronoun and the possessive are falling under these conditions. This is how they change. I, you, first person singular, second person singular, changes to third person singular, right? First person plural, second person plural, changes to third person plural. Me, first person, you, second person, changes to third person singular, right? So these are the changes. Wherever like you find these kind of pronouns, they change, and the possessives, they change in these sequence as it is represented in the table, right? So as you can see here, ours and yours changes into theirs, our, your changes into their. In various sentences, you find them changing in these sequence as it is represented in the table. So apart from the change of the various personal pronouns, there is also changes in the time and place expressions that are used in various sentences, and these are called adverbials. Right? If I say, so all the sentences or all the words that are denoting nearness changes into words denoting farness. Right? Words denoting farness. Now how do they change? Like supposing if I say, the teacher said, you have a test now. You have a test now. Remember the earlier SON formula that was earlier told. So accordingly, we have got the subject which is in second person, right? You have a test now. What is the adverbial that is used? The adverbial that is used is now. So how is it going to change? I can write here, the teacher said that. So teacher said whom? Teacher said to us. Right? So teacher said to us. Obviously, teacher said that. We had a test. Now changes to then. Right? Test, then. Right? So this is what is called the change of the adverbials or the time and place expressions. Right? And if I say, Arun said, I live here. Right? So here, an adverbial of place. Here changes to there. I can write it as Arun said that. I, first person, changes according to Arun, who is a boy. Arun said that he lived there. Here changes to there. So all the words, all the close words denoting closeness change into words denoting distance, right? So that is how they change. Yesterday changes to previous day. Tomorrow changes to the following day. You have a test tomorrow changes to the teacher said that we had a test the day after or the following day, right? So that is how they change. Words denoting closeness changes to words denoting distance, right? Moving ahead. So now all the reporting verbs that we use, they can sometimes be in present tense. They can also be in past tense or in future tense. So let's just see how do they change in the various tenses when the reporting verb is in present tense. Then the tense of the reported speech will not be changed. Say for instance, he says, I am sitting in the garden. Says is present tense. I am sitting in the garden is present continuous. While we change the sentence into indirect speech, we keep it as such. He says that he is sitting in the garden. There is no change in the tense of the reported sentence. Am sitting in the garden changes to is sitting in the garden. He is sitting in the garden, which is again in present continuous tense. So he says that he is sitting in the garden. So this is that the tense of the reported speech does not change when the reporting verb is in present tense. What about those sentences where the reported speech is a universal truth? For instance, the teacher says, the earth is round. So such kind of sentences, these are universal truths. So these sentences also do not undergo any change in the tenses in the indirect speech. So we can write, the teacher says that the earth is round. No change in the tense of the reported speech. Coming to cases where the reporting verb is in the future tense. There also no change in the reported speech. No tense change will occur in the reported speech. For instance, he will say Friday is a holiday remains as he will say that Friday is a holiday. Friday is a holiday is in simple present. Friday is a holiday also remains as simple present. So there is no change in the tense when the reporting verb is in future tense. Right? Now what if the verb is in past tense? Like in most sentences you have got reporting verb in the past tense. Said. For instance, in this case, I want a cup of tea, she said. Reporting verb is said. And the tense of reporting verb is past tense, or what we call as simple past. In these cases, the change of tense does happen. How does it happen? Simple present becomes simple past. I want a cup of tea, she said. She said that she wanted a cup of tea. So this is simple past. You can see here, this is simple present. I want a cup of tea. Simple present. She wanted a cup of tea. Simple past, taking the V2 form of the verb. So this is how simple present becomes simple past. What about the other changes? So this is how it goes, right? So for instance, we just studied that simple present becomes simple past. I know quite a lot of people here. Robert said. Simple present changes to simple past. He said that. He knew. No changes to knew. Knew, which is the V2 form. Quite a lot of people here changes to there. Change in adverbial. Words denoting closeness change into words denoting distance. Now, present continuous. Present continuous changes to past continuous. Past continuous. John is feeling much better, which is in present continuous. Is, am, are plus V1 ing. Changes to past continuous was or were plus ing. So he said that John was feeling. So is feeling changes to was feeling much better. I enjoyed my holiday in the States. Enjoyed V2 form is in simple past, changes to past perfect. So past perfect, what is the form of the verb? Had plus V3 form. He said that he had enjoyed, which is past perfect form of enjoy, right? Had enjoyed, past perfect form, had enjoyed his holidays in the States. Jackie wasn't feeling very well. So this is again past continuous. Was or were plus ing changes to past perfect continuous. So had plus been plus ing. This is the form of the verb. So Jackie wasn't feeling very well changes to, he said that Jackie had not been feeling very well. Right? Wasn't feeling past continuous changes to had not been feeling very well. They have seen the Eiffel Tower. Present perfect. Have Has or have plus V3 changes to had plus V3. Have seen changes to had seen. They said that they had seen the Eiffel Tower. So present perfect changes to past perfect. Now coming to the next form of tense, have plus been plus ing. Present perfect continuous. Have plus been plus ing. Present perfect continuous changes to past perfect continuous. What is the verb form? Had plus been plus ing form. So how is it? He says that he have been waiting changes to had been waiting for ages. Right? Nobody had won. Had plus V3 is past perfect. So when the verb or the reporting verb is in past perfect tense, no change in tense occurs. So he said that nobody had warned remains as had warned. Nobody had warned him or them about the storm. Right? She had been reading all the day. So what is the verb form used here? Had plus been plus ing, which is past perfect continuous, remains the same. No change in tense. She said that she had been reading all day. Right? No change in tense in this case also. And in these cases, like where you have got future tense, simple future, I will be here with you. So this is simple future. It changes into a conditional sentence. So what do we write? Robert, I will be here with you. Robert promised me. Robert promised me that will changes to would. Right? Will changes to would. Robert promised that he would be with me. He would be there with me. Right? So here changes to there. So this is how it changes in various tenses, children. The reporting verb in various tenses do take a change only when the tense of the reported speech does take a change. When the reported verb or reporting verb is in past tense, like said. So let's just see what about the cases of the sentences where we use modals. Modals like can, might, must, or will or shall. How do they change? Can changes to could, may changes to might, and must changes to had to. Will or shall changes to would or should. We can start the lesson. David said that we could start the lesson. They may come home, my husband said. My husband said that they might come home. You must be quiet in class, the teacher told us. The teacher told us that we had to be quiet in class. I will see you later, she said. So, will or shall changes to would or should. She said that she would see me later. So these are the various changes when the reporting verb is a modal, right? And yes, this is how the changes do take place when we change sentences from direct to indirect speech. The words denoting nearness or words denoting closeness change into words denoting distance. Modals take their past tense form, and tenses do go a step behind. Just go one step behind, right? They just go one step behind. Like your simple present becomes simple past. So simple past become past perfect. So this is how it changes as it's been summed up in this table. So I hope I have made myself clear in this video. If there is any doubt related to any of the changes from direct to indirect speech, please feel free to put your doubts in the comment section. I'll be happy to help. Thank you for now. Have a great day. Stay safe. Bye-bye for now.